What's up, Ben? What's up, dude? Thanks. Can you hear me? I haven't done this in a while. No idea. Nice. What kind of band do you have? Two bass players. That's unique. So do you have one guy who plays like bass lines and the other one who just plays like Les Claypool? Like, how does that work? That sounds pretty cool, though. Don't see a lot of bands with two bass players. There you go. So how do you choose which one you're going to lock in with? Does one play a 6-string and one plays a 4-string? Nice, Sean. That sounds cool. I haven't been camping in a long time. I asked my kids if they wanted to go camping, and they were not up for sleeping in the outdoors, but I'll get them to do it. I'll set up a tent in the backyard sometime and see if I can break them in that way. Where are you going camping, fishing? Oh, wow. You're out there. That'll be cool, man. That'll be really cool. Yeah, my kids are 7 and almost 5. And they're hit or miss. Like sometimes they like going on hikes and being outside, and sometimes they hate it. So I think I just got to find them when they're in the right mood. or just make more of an effort to always make it really fun. Yeah, that'll be really nice though. Yeah, I used to backpack a lot here in California. Go out to like Los Padres National Forest and a few other places, and it's a nice reset to, you know, get out and struggle a little bit, get dirty, come home smelling like firewood and or smelling like campfire, and be able to actually see stars. That was my favorite part, is just being able to actually see stars. All the stars, most of the stars.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, let's see. Goulburn River. I'm going to look that up right now. I want to see where this is. Goulburn River. You said Victoria, Australia. Near Alexandria. Yeah, dang, dude. That's out there. But man, Australia is like so much wilderness, bro. Like I've been to Australia, but it was like Sydney, and like it was all East Coast. I didn't go into the outback at all. And yeah, yeah. No, like just looking at this, like when I I like zoom in on the tag for the river and then just zoom out, and I'm like, oh wow, that's a big area. And then I zoom out, and then I zoom out, and then I zoom out again. It's like, dude, like Western Australia, like what is that? That's wild. Yeah, Australia is insane. Well, I hope you guys have fun. I hope she enjoys it. Can you find gold out there? Can you pan for gold out there? I know there's big areas where there's a lot of mining that goes on in Australia.
I'll try. I'll try hard. It had to be you.
you guys are curious, I'm cutting a video from one of my gigs. I filmed the whole gig and then I got to cut it up into pieces. So that's what I'm doing. Dude, I won that in an Instagram like giveaway contest one day. Just they were like, you know, leave a comment and like the page and we'll put you in a raffle and whatever, and I won it and they actually sent it to me. It's like one of the only things I've ever like won like that. And yeah, and it's my favorite belt too. Like of all the different belts, that winged, I think that's the winged eagle. Yeah, the winged eagle is my favorite. So I like won the belt and then I like unsubscribed from the place that gave it away. It was like a wrestling collectible store in like Florida or something. And like I like wrestling. Well, I did like wrestling, but I'm not that into wrestling that I'm gonna stay subscribed to like find out what wrestling toys they're selling or whatever. But got my belt. Let me tell you something, brother. Your paradiddles are garbage, brother. You couldn't swing from a 90-foot rope, brother. That'd be an interesting concept. Try to figure out how to cut a drumming promo. Oh man, Memphis wrestling, dude. I was just because I listened to Jim Cornette's podcast, and he was just doing a whole thing about the top, because they did a top 20 in their 20s of modern wrestlers, and so he and Brian thought it would be interesting to look at the top 20 in their 20s from 1984. And a bunch of guys from, I mean, all those dudes in the 80s were going through Memphis. And it's been a pretty interesting little, I don't know, bit that they've been doing about, you know, all these guys that were in their 20s. And the list is insane because it's like, you know, I grew up on WWF in the late 80s, early 90s. And all those dudes came from Mid-South and Memphis wrestling and the Carolinas, and like it's kind of cool to like, you know, hear them talk about, you know, Memphis. That was like Jerry Lawler's territory, and I don't know, it's kind of cool. They're like the wrestling history. Like I don't watch modern wrestling. Like I think most of it's pretty, it just doesn't entertain me anymore. But the history side of it is super fascinating, like going all the way back to just its origins of just like the concept of like faking a fight to draw people to spend money on it is fascinating to me. Drummer for Sumac. I wrote it down. I'll check it out. But have a good time. Enjoy. I hope you guys have a good time out there. And thanks for stopping by. Not much going on tonight, but it's to be expected. All right. Good night, man. Memphis Heat. When I had the network, I would watch the old stuff. There's so much to watch. It's like crazy how much of that old wrestling was on there. But yeah, I don't watch it anymore really. I mean, I'll watch the Royal Rumble. That's like my tradition. I always watch the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, and that's kind of it nowadays. Memphis Heat. I'll check it out. Probably up my alley. Yeah, the modern stuff like WWE is, I don't know, it's a lot. There's too much wrestling. Like I can't. Yeah, like with whatever it is, like 12 hours of TV every week. But like AEW is not good. I just don't like it at all. And WWE, it's like it's too much. I'm not going to watch, 2 shows a week. They do a good job of catching you up, but it's really not like, that's why I don't mind like just watching 1 or 2 events a year, because they're going to catch me up on everything that matters. Everything else is pretty much like just not, it doesn't entertain me. Like, I don't know. I was kind of done with wrestling when the Undertaker hung up his boots. I was like, all right, like I'm good. Like his debut to when he stopped was like with breaks here and there. But I gave AEW a try right when they started, and I watched it for a little bit, but it's just so bad. It's just so bad. I can't do it. I can't do it, man.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you.
He does do that. That's the other thing is like I can listen to his opinion about it too. And every time I do, I'm like, yeah, I know I don't want to watch this. Like just how he describes the matches, how they play out. I'm just like, nope, that doesn't sound fun at all.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit reggae. It's a little bit. It's a little bit reggae.
All right, who else is in here? There's only 4 of us in here. Who's here? It's not just me and Ben. Who's lurking? Well, thank you, Casual Stool. That's what I try to do. I try to do something different. I noticed that too about a lot of reactors is they're just like a dude who's just like watches something. He's like, "Oh, that was good." I'm like, can you give me a little more than that? But I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Yo, Hobotron. Right on. What's happening? I am just sitting here. I haven't watched those ones. I haven't watched the vocal coach ones. Really? See, that's disappointing to me because that was like the whole point of my videos was like I'm from this background and I'm going to go into this other genre and kind of like see if I can tie the two together or see how they differ or just like try to relate somehow to it or just whatever. But yeah, if they're just sitting there just kind of saying nothing and not offering their insights as vocal coaches, like what's unique about that? I don't know. Like I'd be interested, like, because there's a lot of people who watch movies. They'll watch like a movie or they'll watch a TV show, but they're just a fan who's watching something. And I would want to see something where it's like somebody who makes movies, like somebody who works on movies, who's like, I'm a professional best boy or I'm a gaffer or something. I'm gonna watch this thing, or like people who work in VFX and they react to VFX. Like that would be really cool to me. Opinion on Minel cymbals. I've never played them personally. They have they sound great in all the videos that they're featured in. I've never heard them, like I've never played them personally. I'd love to try them out sometime, but well, Mike Patton would be a great one to do a reaction on for sure. But like like somebody who reacts to Freddie Mercury, like obviously you're going to be blown away, but if you're like an opera singer who reacts to Freddie Mercury, I want to hear what their opinion about his chops are or his tone or his range or whatever, like, and relate that to opera singing. That would be sick. I would watch that. Nice. Holy moly live. That's right, Kyle. I haven't done this in years. So I thought I would go live. I'm editing a little, just cutting up a video from one of my gigs. I have to, well, I don't have to, but so I can upload these live cuts. I just go through and chop it up. Well, that's good. Yeah, what are you up to, Kyle? What are you doing tonight? You ready for Christmas? Are you guys ready for Christmas? Boards, Drumeo stuff? No, I haven't. I'll write it down though. Oh shit. And I want to react to I've been loving this series they do now where they have people listen to stuff for the first time and then play it. Like they don't hear the drum track, they just hear the music track and then they add their own interpretation of what they think would sound good on it. I've been watching a couple of those, but they seem too long to do a reaction. Should I just do one? Like it's a long reaction, but I don't know. I think if I like cut it up, it might be kind of cool. Because I just watched some of the. I didn't watch all of it, but I watched some of the one with Steve Smith playing Alice in Chains. And it's just so funny because like somebody like Steve Smith is incredible. Like obviously, like for me, he's one of the like top 10 drummers of all time. But to hear him play Alice in Chains with his drums and with his style, like he played cool ideas, but it still doesn't work. Like, hearing like a dinky like 10-inch rack tom with a heavy grunge band, it doesn't fit right. But I still love the concept of letting drummers kind of go on something like that. I think it would have been more beneficial to get, like, you don't want to go too far in the other direction, like getting a jazz drummer to play metal or jazz and grunge or something. Like I feel like that's too far of a dichotomy. Like you need to bring it in a little so that there's still like a little bit of crossover, so it still sounds like it would work as a track. But I don't know. You never know until you find out. So it's kind of, Chambers playing Tool. Did he do that? But like a good one I thought was Kenny Aronoff playing Yes, I think he did. Like that kind of works because you got Kenny Aronoff, who's this like rock guy. Like that would be that crossover. It kind of worked because, yeah, sometimes it highlights why the original track is genius too. And that I think was the case with the Steve Smith doing Wood, is that was just like you realize like, damn, that drum track is actually kind of perfect on that song. And it's like if you let like Brian Blade play Smells Like Teen Spirit, like what are you really gonna end up with? Like, I don't know. I'll have to check out Dirk doing that. That might be the one to do. I'm taking notes on all this, you guys. But because Dirk is like so good, and doing Mr. Brightside, it might work. It might work. I don't know. It's an interesting experiment. Well, I appreciate that casual stool. I don't think I have the I don't have the stroke to do that, but maybe someday. I snuck in a blast on this one. That's funny. I did a brush blast. At the end of this song, I did a gravity blast with my brush. I gotta upload that. So dumb. Luckily, the guy I play with likes me enough. He's not gonna fire me for doing stuff like that. Who was that? Who did the brushes Meshuggah? I guess if I just looked up Brushes Meshuggah, I'd be able to find it, but that sounds interesting. So, oh shit, I'm forgetting his name. Sebastian Lanzer did a cover of Bleed, but it's like a rearrangement of Bleed somebody he plays with did. And I was looking for the drum cam playthrough, and it's not up. And I still haven't listened to it because I wanted the drum reaction to be the first one. So when that drops, I'm going to be all over it. And I don't have the time or the talent, but I would really love to hear a big band do an arrangement of Bleed. Oh my God. Every single Tool song in order on drums. And like, is each song one take or is it all cut together? That's solid. That's solid. One take is impressive. 2 minutes to late night cover of Anthem by Rush. Danny Carey, Les Claypool, Bill Kelleher, and Claudio Sanchez. Damn, 7 hours, 35 minutes. That's crazy. That's crazy. If I couldn't do that with Tool. I could maybe do that with Primus if I like really worked at it for a little bit, because I do know like most of the Primus catalog. Damn, that's a feat. That's a feat. All right. Good night, Ben. Appreciate you stopping by, man. You have a good one. That's awesome that you got a piano. Yeah. To hell with reading. Honestly, yeah, just play it. Like, just play it like as much as you can. If you want to learn theory, I would start with just like learn, a good place to start with learning theory is obviously like major and minor chords and scales. But I think the chords are more useful. No, like having a good vocabulary of chords and how they're built, that's theory. Like that's the basis of, Western music theory. Um, and I would, if you know that, it gives you a good base on learning to read because you have a better understanding of what it is you're reading. If you just start with reading and try to go the other way, it gets hard. It's harder to understand why things do what they do or why they mean what they mean. But if you start with the chords and learning what a seven chord is and a minor chord and a diminished chord and an augmented chord and how chords are built, you can build your own chords, which is kind of the point. Yeah, study McCoy Tyner and you'll win. Yeah, watch Oscar Peterson videos. uh yeah, and that's what theory is. It's the logic of music, really. But you won't do shit if you don't play the instrument. Like that's really the main thing is you got to sit down and actually play it and just fart around with the notes and you know look up. I mean the Rick Beato videos about music theory or Charles Cornell videos about chords and theory and like his stuff. Like Charles Cornell's awesome. I love his videos because he's like super excited and loves talking about it and sharing it, but he's just super smart and really good at what he does. So, um, but yeah, if you just sit at a keyboard and just start hacking it out and go like learn two chords, learn three chords, like learn a three chord progression, a 1 4 5 1, and just work on that, do moving from chord to chord, moving from chord to chord, and then switch it up and move from one chord, and get that moving under your hands and start understanding the shapes of the chords. That's another thing is like when you start doing that, you learn that chords have shapes and your fingers have positions that they move to. And that when that starts to come together, it starts to get a lot easier. And I'm not a piano player. My brother is a piano player. And so I learned a lot of that kind of stuff from him. But I played marimba in college and steel drum and vibraphone and all kinds of stuff. And a lot of the principles are the same. The shapes of chords, the shapes of patterns, the shapes of different things. Um, they all relate to each other because they all come from the same keyboard. Yeah, I love the vibes. I played those in high school. I played them a little bit in college. They're an expensive instrument, though. Man, all those keyboard instruments, like 35 grand for a marimba. Like that's not something like your average person can just like pick up and be like, oh, I want to play marimba. Like that's rich people's instruments. been hooked on vibes. And so you must know about Gary Burton. That was the dude who made me like blew my mind on vibes. Like obviously Lionel Hampton, like the old school, but like Gary Burton on the GRP big band records from like Live in Tokyo, like his playing on that was insane. And then my teacher was Michael Carney, and I swear, like one of the most beautiful things I ever heard was him play. He played a ballad on Vibes, like a jazz ballad. It's like When I Fall in Love or something like that. Insane. Gary Burton and Chick Corea on Tiny Desk. Dude, okay, I got a band for you to check out. If you are into like vibes and like percussion stuff, check out Gong. Gong, dude. It's this French. I don't know if they're French or French Canadian. I think they're French. Yeah, I think they're straight up French. It's this guy Pierre Morlaine. I'm gonna put his name in here too. Like, there's this album called Gazeuse, and it's like like there's guitars, but it's like full on percussion ensemble. There's like vibes and timpani and marimbas and percussion and like all kinds of craziness. And it's like proggy. It's like late 70s, early 80s maybe. And it's prog. And there's this there's a track on it called Percolations. And it's just this he plays all the instruments. Pierre Morlaine plays all the instruments. I think his wife plays some of the percussion too. But it's like, I don't know, it's crazy. I think if you're into like vibes and percussion and stuff, you got to check out Gong, because Gong's crazy, especially Gazeuse. Like the other albums are kind of, the other albums are proggy, but Gazeuse is specifically like percussion ensemble prog. It's dope. My uncle turned me onto that, and like when I was like 10, and I actually learned how to play the the like disco beat, the like the boots spats boots spats boots spat, the boots and pants beat, boots and pants and boots and pants. I learned that beat from that Percolations song. I was like, how does he do that? And I finally learned how to play that beat from listening to that track. That's crazy. Yeah, Gong's the shit. Tiny Desk, Yo-Yo Ma, Edgar Mayer, Chris Steele, and Stuart Duncan. Dude. You know, I haven't checked out very many Tiny Desk concerts. I seen that clip of the Soul Glow guy singing on the Tiny Desk concert, which was kind of funny.
And everybody check for your wallet. So Marcello just got into Magic like maybe a couple weeks ago. Tell him to check for their wallet and necklaces. Make sure you hit all the tables, and everybody check for your wallets, your necklaces.
Oh no, I'm still digging it. It's about finding the right players. Like, I have recorded reactions that I just didn't I didn't upload because they didn't excite me. They weren't they were just kind of like, you know, blast beat fill, blast beat fill, blast beat fill. It's not that exciting. But I'm actually, on Saturday, I'm going to upload a reaction to John Longstreth that I think is a pretty good one because he's out like on another planet. And then after that, I'm gonna upload a reaction to Vinnie Paul. So I've been digging, going back and listen to the older, like the old school guys. I want to do one on Nick Barker if I can find some decent video, because I remember Sam 66 Samus talking about Nick Barker all the time. So yeah, I'm still into the metal reactions. I wish I could, like, I want to react to everything. But historically, when I react to anything but metal, there's very little reaction, like very little response, which isn't going to stop me from doing it. But I got to like pepper them in. I got to pepper in the like non-metal drummers because I don't want to drive away my subscribers, which I mean, it happens on every upload I do now. Every time I upload a video, I lose like 5 to 10 subscribers, and then I'll get back like 3 or 4, and it's just how it goes. At least on my channel it is. I don't know how it is on other people's channels. I'm a big like I wish like I'm a big proponent of like listen to everything. Like listen to everything because it all connects if you let it connect. But if you want to, if by like keeping yourself away from things, it stunts the possibilities of what's out there. So I listen to everything. Like my Spotify Wrapped every year is super entertaining because it's just, yeah, like what, like I'm betting, yeah, metal led me to Bach, and Bach led people to metal. You know, metal led me to punk, and jazz led me to Latin music. Like it will all lead you somewhere else, and you never know what you're gonna run into when you're allowing yourself to just keep running into stuff. Yeah, my Spotify Wrapped. Let's see. I gotta... Classical is metal as fuck though. It is like Beethoven and Shostakovich, like those guys were headbangers for sure. Like my Spotify Wrapped for 2025 is the first. I got into this folk group from Nebraska called the Wildwoods. So my first like 10 songs are all Wildwoods, and it's like my kids' music because I let my kids listen to music on my phone, which is kind of a mistake, but it's like all their stuff, which is like music from video games and shit. And then Propagandhi, Queen, more Propagandhi, and my kids got into Imagine Dragons, and then Led Zeppelin, Ladysmith Black Mambazo, Beatles, more Queen, George Strait, Lagwagon, Shaka Khan, Luther Vandross, Steve Miller Band, Paul Simon, more Ladysmith Black Mambazo, and more of my kids' stuff. Steve's Lava Chicken, you know. Yeah, you could fuse the algorithm. I do that too sometimes. Do I like the Weakerthans? I wasn't not a huge fan. I mean, I've heard some of their stuff and I liked it. Same with Shai Hulud. But I wasn't like I didn't own any albums or anything, but I know that the Weakerthans is the guy that was in Propagandhi. He went over and did the Weakerthans. Lagwagon drummer is super metal. Yeah. Are you talking about Dave, like the current drummer, Dave? Because one of my favorite drummers of all time is Derek, who was the original drummer for Lagwagon, and then did Bad Astronaut, and then he was RKL's drummer in like not this latest run, obviously, because Derek died in like 2004, but 2005. But yeah, Derek Plord, like he was like the perfect drummer to me. Like everything he played was just on point and tasty and clean. So good. If I like Propagandhi, I'd probably like Shai Hulud. All right. I'm writing it down. I got a lot of work to do here. Full of Hell is the most interesting band in music right now. All right. We'll see what that's about. Okay.
As a quick hand, okay? This is out of the dream of life, I just dream. Fly me to.
How are the blasts developing? Well, first I would need to practice, and I don't do that much these days. In fact, the last time I played my drums was when I had a gig in. It was like a month ago. It'll actually be a month exactly between gigs. No, that's not true. I did play a little bit today, and I played a little bit last week, but it's hard to find time to practice. I have you work all day, and then it's dinner time and the kids and all that, and then it's nighttime and bedtime, and the day is gone, and there was no practicing. But I am chopping up a video here, and there was a ballad that we did at the last gig. I played with brushes, and at the end of the song, I did do a gravity blast. Oh yeah, that Gong album has Alan Holdsworth on it. It must have slipped my mind. Yeah, I'm gonna check out Full of Hell too. That sounds really interesting, and I might do a video on that. Are you taking off? Thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks for the recommendations. I appreciate that, and I'm curious what you think of Gong too. So if you want to email me, GarrettMillerDrums@gmail.com. But thanks for hanging out. Peace. All right, I actually got to go too. It's bedtime. This Papa's tired. Papa's sleepy. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. I didn't know what to expect by doing this, but it was nice to chat with you guys and get some cool recommendations. I got all kinds of shit here. I got Full of Hell, Shai Hulud, Chasen Westmoreland, Demon King, Brushes, Meshuggah. I got wrestling documentary recommendations. Like, it's crazy. All right, watch out for Saturday. John Longstreth reaction's going to come out, and then next week sometime it'll be the Vinnie Paul reaction, and then I don't know, probably some of this stuff. So anyway, appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Bye. Joey, appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for still being here. I appreciate it, really. All right, good night, everybody.